Welcome back, everybody, to the Deadlock Night Shift. We are here back for our NA portion of the show, what these K-Kona American fans have been waiting for, and for two of my biggest America lovers, Jason Kaplan and DDK. What's your favorite thing about the United States?
Oh, I love America so much. I haven't been living there the last 14 years of my life. I just miss it so much. Favorite thing about the U.S.? The food, for sure. The food.
Taxes, man.
Our adopted son?
Yeah.
Taxes.
I love taxes.
No, the lack of them. The lack of the taxes.
Yeah, you know what's trade places, Dan? Because I got a nice 50% over here in Italy, and I would love a 0% sales tax, state tax for me.
Well, yeah, all right, guys. We have the NA fans here representing strong, very, very believable from Jason and Dan. Maybe a little more believable from Dan, but of course, we got to jump into our show. We got to take a look at what we got on the cards today. So let's take a quick look at the bracket. See the matches queued up. First, it's going to be the Unks taking on Bunny with Clock. I'm not gonna lie, the Unks OGs, right? There's a lot of well-known names on this squad. I don't think they're going to be strangers to many of the folks in chat. But what's going on with Bunny with Clock? Are they going to be the team to take it to challenge Melee Creeps?
I think challenge Melee Creeps is a bit of a stretch. Personally, I think this is like Poshy Pop's new venture of a team since Chain Gang did disband after the Charlie Open. And they've got, a decent couple of players on the team, but to expect them to be able to challenge out against Melee Creeps, I think is a bit of a stretch, to be honest, with how good Melee Creeps looked in the last week. But what I am excited about is seeing what this new team is here to bring us and like what they could potentially become over North America. But man, I'm also excited to see what's going to happen with the Youngs, because Aiden, if he gets Vindicta, we're in for some like simple level quick scopes out of his play.
Yeah, this team is actually really awesome, and it's great to see that they are the same. I think this is the exact same roster as we had for the Charlie NA broadcast, because they did really well. Like, they overperformed expectations, I would say. And we actually had Deathy making an appearance on last year in a winning game as well, where I think that was where Aiden was on the Vindicta. And so they brought a very entertaining match to watch and to follow. And I think generally a higher level of play than I think we are used to seeing with some of the rosters where Deathy has been playing with previously. So I think, that's great to see, because there's a lot of fans for him in the chat, in the Deadlock scene in general. So I like that this roster is sticking together.
And fans in the broadcast here, Dan, don't forget, my favorite player in the world is now Deathy, after I had to cosplay and dress up as Lash. But yeah, this team, I think they have some potential, but I think they have one big downside, Dan. It's unfortunately going to be Wander, in my opinion, because he plays Gun Yamato. And when they put in Sneaky Golem, guess what? Sneaky Golem first banned against them. A team that we would expect to have no problems challenging the likes of the Youngs. They banned out his Yamato against him because they know how strong it can be. And Wonder hasn't been as effective on other heroes as he is on his Yamato in particular.
I hope we get to see the Gun Yamato pop off. It's so obscene when you get snowballing with the split shot and just run people down on the extended duration. Definitely going to be an exciting build if the Unks are going to be able to get it through the draft. But Yamato's a high pro pick, right? Not so easy to find that. Their opponents, of course, Bunny with Clocks. A lot of people asking in the chat, who the hell are these guys? And so I put it to you guys. Who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, Dan, who the hell are these guys?
Oh, I wanted to do it. I feel like I can't do it now. So, these are a lot of, I think, familiar names that we've seen circulating in the North American scene, but obviously this is a new look. And obviously, I think rallying around, from my understanding at least, Poshy Pop to a large extent, who we actually had on the broadcast for the Trolley Invitational or Open League that we had, and he was super insightful and someone that, lives, breathes, eats, consumes, absorbs, exogenously injects Deadlock.
Yes. I can confirm that is very true. Cool Cheese, think back to the early days of Melee Creeps. He played with Poshy Pop on that roster. Then Cool Cheese was one of the players that eventually did get replaced. Division and Geo, I believe, did come from a prior team. I just need to quickly check up on what team it was, because they did play in the North American portion as well, though they didn't have as good as success, unfortunately, as their counterparts here. But I think it's a team with a lot of potential. I do wonder, though, how the likes of Tanner, I think for me, this is the first time I'm seeing Tanner actually played at the moment. Posh Pop did play with Division in Chain Gang, so that actually makes more sense. And Arctic. So it's 3 players from Chain Gang and then 3 players from some other teams coming together. I think you can't really expect too much for them in terms of like macro play. And if we're going to get like right into the nitty gritty, you have to have them pull off a strong early game if they want to have a chance against. Actually, yeah, if they want to have a chance in the series, I would say you need to have a strong start here.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're probably going to be the underdogs against a team like Melee Creeps. But this challenger match for me, I feel like this is anybody's to win. You know, I think both teams could be on the scrappier side, on the deathmatch heavy side. And I'm just very excited to see, you know, what kind of comes out of the draft. If it's going to be like a deathy lash or maybe a bit of, you know, wild playmaking from across the board. And this is also our introduction, as you were saying, to some of these players on Bunny with Clock. And so I'm curious to see what are their signature heroes? What are the picks they're really looking to drive in this draft?
You know, I'm confused where our Mo 1v1 is, but I don't actually know who won it. If maybe we get confirmation from production who actually did win out on that one, because this is the challenger match, and I'm curious.
We gotta keep it. We cut that shit. We cut that shit. We're trying to start the game. Casters, start the game.
I mean, to be fair, you can't really like one up what we had in EU, right, with that matchup.
That's true.
So it's very difficult to do so. But I was more curious about if the Unks won it and they chose first pick, or if Bunny won it and they chose second pick. Because in EU we had the team who won choose second. On purpose, which normally we've seen in the last few weeks the other way around. Also, Dan, I'm going to have a really tough time saying Bunny with Clock here, especially if I have to say it very fast during the broadcast. I'm just letting you know now.
Sounds good.
What would be the nickname? I mean, well, let's start brainstorming. We got time in the draft.
Puckett's not here, so we can keep it a little PG this time. But we're seeing the Yamato ban, like a respect ban for Wonder, 100% coming through. But that does leave open the likes of like Victor, for instance, but also potentially a Holiday, which, I mean, if you watch the EU broadcast, you would know how damn strong she is right now.
The Yamato ban, though, hopefully, you know, it's evolutionary pressure, right? If you keep banning it, it's going to force evolution from Wonder. So hopefully he comes out with something else that's sick. You know, that's usually what I think tends to happen or should happen. Because it's got to suck going into a game where you're just like convert pick gets banned and then you lose your identity as a human. It kind of sucks. But Ivy first pick, Shiv first pick. This is kind of nice, guys. It feels refreshing. I remember it was a recent NA broadcast where Calvin was left open in the bans and wasn't picked till like the 6th pick, you know. So I'm glad that we have normalcy.
Yeah, everything's comfortable.
I think the Ivy pickup here is to give Wander a comfort hero, just in my opinion, because we saw him play. Oh my God, he played something else gun last time. And it wasn't impressive in the Trolley Open. I cannot remember off the top of my head what it was. But Ivy, he was one of like the first people to play Gun Ivy, and also one of the big proponents of going for like Veil Walker over Fortitude with the rise in popularity we had of that item. And then eventually it did get nerfed away. But man, Shiv and Furnace off the bat here for Bunny with Clock, Jake. That's already a strong start.
You can't disagree with that, right? You get Shiv and one of his best counters, and the Unks take Holiday. I love it. I mean, we just saw in EU, right? This character defined that money match best of 3. It was so crucial and scaled to such a ridiculous level. Love it. I think it's a great pick. I wouldn't mind seeing them grab a Pocket as well. We've seen Pocket historically have a great matchup into Shiv. So I already feel like, you know, I kind of like what the Unks are cooking. I'm curious to see more. I'm enjoying the sense.
Oh, they did it. Jake, I have to ask, did you catch these games with Aiden on Vindicta?
Where he's doing the what's it called? The boundless snipe bill, where he's just like popping
the ridiculous
people. I think I saw it a little bit. It was kind of sick, honestly. I feel like you get some of that. It's kind of like the Holiday in a way, right? It's like you have an early game utility catch hero that can play high tempo, and then you actually scale into a real problem in the late game, right? So you're just popping people from range. And so Unks are not going to be hurting for damage. They are kind of lacking a little bit in the frontliner category for now.
It's also one extra thing that's super nice, because if you are a support, you usually get starved a little bit of getting those souls. So it's like kind of a nice way with the snipe to actually manage to keep up and be a threat or adapt. And what's crazy, Dan, I haven't seen Abrams in a while, let alone in the ban column.
Well, I think I saw him last week, actually, during the Halloween show.
I see what you did there.
He was taking a break from the broadcast, from actually playing, to be on the broadcast with us. But yeah, it's. I think that's actually kind of interesting to see an Abrams ban over, I don't know, maybe like a Pocket, like you were mentioning before, Jake, to take it away from Deathy. But also, I don't really hate this page ban in response, though, because like if you put like a page Billy together, knowing that the Abrams is already taken away, that's going to be really tough to deal with.
Yeah, I do think the Unks are looking to grab frontliners. Maybe it's someone like a Billy. Bunny could try to take that away right now if they look to.
What are we standing around for?
Oh, and there it is. So denying some of the top tier frontliners from the Unks. And you know what, guys? I think I'm going to try something, and I can't guarantee that I'll succeed, but I'm going to see if I can wrestle me up a bunny rabbit. You guys are going to have to carry this for a minute.
Does he have a rabbit at his house? Wait, does he have tattoos?
I don't know. I'm like really
I didn't know he has tattoos.
I did not know that either. I thought
Do
he
you have a
was an
tattoo?
innocent boy.
Dan, do you have a tattoo?
No,
No. Would you ever get one?
no,
No. Okay.
not interested.
All right. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. You know what they say about people who have tattoos?
What do they say about people who have tattoos, Dan?
You know what? I'm not gonna bring that into the podcast,
DM me
actually.
then, because
We're gonna
I'm
cut
actually really
that
curious.
segment.
I've never heard this phrase before. Oh my God, there's actually a rabbit.
Okay, what's the
Posture
story
Pop,
here?
if you're in
Can
chat.
Can we just full screen Jake? I don't care about the draft anymore.
Yeah, what draft?
Let's get to the content.
Oh my God.
We got the draft and the bunny.
I am honored to
Maybe we
name
can
is
put the
Honey
bunny
Bunny.
in
Can you raise the
the.
bunny a little higher, or like stand up for us?
All right, guys. She doesn't like
his
this. So
eyeball
I
is
put her
just
away,
massive.
but I wanted to show everybody.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I forgot he doesn't have headphones on, so he stood up without even hearing
eyeballs.
me. You know, I will say this though. I thought rabbits really smell. If I remember correctly, I think my sister had a rabbit and it was like really smelly.
Maybe that's a user error issue. I don't know.
Could be. That's Jake.
I thought that was worth. I thought that was worth.
It was 100% worth. But I have to ask. I thought rabbits smell really bad.
No, she's very. She has like a litter box. She's trained. She doesn't.
Wait,
Doesn't go outside of her. Well, she doesn't. She uses her litter box. You know, she's
Oh, okay.
responsible.
Does she pick up the
Dan, you guys are in.
No.
You guys are in. Let's go.
Dan,
Imagine
no.
this. It could be anyone.
I wonder who it's gonna be, guys. You know what? He's got a 100% win rate the last 2-3
up.
weeks on it. So
It's a little bit of a scary Lash game. I'm not gonna lie. Bebop and Billy, so two pretty powerful lockdown tools for the Lash. But you know what? The Lash doesn't lose. I heard your strategic worries, and I don't care because the Lash doesn't lose.
The last actually is 9 wins, 10 losses. If I'm not mistaken, Holiday's win rate's actually worse. We're just going by the numbers.
I don't know where to go with this because I'm seeing Lash on screen, but I'm also curious, Jake. I didn't know you had tattoos.
Oh yeah, you want to see my tattoos? Dude, this is show and tell, man.
Can I see all of the tattoos?
I can show you this one. This is my favorite.
What?
I got a.
Is it a dragon?
Yeah.
Nice. Where'd you get that done?
Damn.
I got this in Korea from a woman who basically this is like all she does is Japanese style dragons.
Okay. What about the other arm? There's
The
a
other
dragon
arm,
continuing.
it's cranes in a river. This is just
Damn.
Jake's show and tell on the draft.
Nice.
You know what?
And any others
I'm here
plans? Are
for
we
it.
going back to Korea for more?
Maybe I'll get more. I don't know. I have one on my back, but I'm not going to take my shirt off of you guys for the good people at the Twitch terms of
Okay.
service.
If we get up to 1,400 subs, 75 away or 60, 75 away, Jake's going to show us the tattoos on his back live on air. Where's Flynn at? Where's our normal big sub gifters?
Veto. You guys got a bunny and you got my tattoos. All right, don't come begging for more. I've done enough for the good people of Twitch television.
You're gonna be worried
All
too,
right,
because Jason said he was gonna eat a bag of trolley like on a draft segment for 80 subs, and someone gifted 80 immediately on the trolley show.
Yep. And one of the I got like 3/4 the way through the bag, and then one of the worms like hit the little dangly bits in the back of your throat, your uvula, and I started to gag, so I had to spit it all out. But I did stay true to my deal. I put them all back in my mouth, and the ones that were left in the bag. I did it for 80 subs, man. Come on.
I'm actually praying that we're ready to start this game and I can get out of this, man. I need to get out of here. Are we ready? Let's see if our gamers are ready or if they're pulling the classic NA. Getting ready. Okay, sounds like we're waiting for just one more player. And now I got to ask it to actually sort of do my job as a host. Who do you guys think had the better draft out of this? A little bit Mimi from the Unks, but we've seen Holiday do some crazy things today. So what are you guys feeling? Who is cooking?
So looking at this for me, I think it depends a lot on how the game plays out of who I think would win. One thing about the Unks that I like is that you do have the ability to really set up Aiden. If he follows around whoever's on Mo and Krill, which I believe it is going to be Lona, and he gets this max level assassinate, 850 every time he gets a kill, 850 every time he gets a kill, which means you can leave all this farm over to Wonder on the Ivy and whoever's playing the Holiday. So you have 3 really fed people who can carry. You have Mo and Krill, Viscus, and Lash to support. On the other side, though, you have so much pick potential with Paradox and Bebop, so you can easily pull Vindicta out of the sky if you needed to. Yeah, the snowball potential of a Shiv getting the resets on Killing Blow, and then you have Doorman to give you the mobility in these fights to create like other avenues for fighting. But I just don't know which one I would honestly favor in the situation, knowing that Aiden is on the other team with Vindicta.
Yeah, I think it's a hard one. I do like all the setup and pick that Bunny with Clock have. You know, I think obviously Shiv, we know that he's an absolute powerhouse, and I think that there is a lot of other problems that will allow Shiv to kind of pop off in fights and be able to have the space to start to snowball and to start to be a problem. And with Infernus as well, I also feel like Infernus can get a lot of space. You know, Billy's going to be really annoying. Doorman, it depends on the build too. I love the Majestic Leap Doorman builds where you can kind of guarantee to start off fights in advantage. And you got Bebop also for that setup with the Doorman, or like the Paradox swapping into the Doorman by Baroness Hotel, like whatever setup pieces you want. There's lots of I like the setup there, and they're tanky. They've got lots of damage output. So I feel like the Yunks do have late game potential. Obviously, Ivy Holiday, we know what they can do, but I think that Vindicta, Mo, and Lash, I don't think that they're gonna have the pace to keep up to be able to survive the mid game and to allow the Yunks to get to that late game in one piece. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's definitely a much more conventional draft from Bunny with Clock. I think they kind of want to make this match front to back, you know, kind of what they're experiencing. I kind of like that the Youngs are throwing something a little bit crazy at them, something a little bit more focused on maybe their individual competencies, on their comfort heroes. But as you guys are saying, maybe taking that Yamato away is enough to really handicap the Unks. We'll have to see. And now to kick it off, of course, with our NA Challenger match, it's Jason and DDK. Take it away.
I just want to say, Dan, chat was all over Jake ripping off his shirt and showing us his back tat. I'm just saying. There's got to be some sub amount that we can cross that he would do it on air.
All right, let's get a current sub count.
1327 current sub count. If we hit 1500?
1500 by the end of the show. And my back looks freaky right now because I did some cupping, so my back has all these like crazy welts on it from cupping. So people are in for a freak show if they're looking for it.
That just makes me, you know what? I think I might need to get some subs here to make this happen because I just want to see it even more.
Go wild. It looks weird.
All right, here we go. We're into the lane matchups, Jason. Let's talk about it. So we got the.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought you had an urgent interruption. Okay, we got the Billy Infernus. We've got the Paradox and Bebop, and we got the Shiv and Doorman for Bunny with Clock. So overall, like pretty strong lanes. And you know, for me, the most important one is just making sure that Shiv is going to have a decent time of it up against Holiday Lash. I'm feeling the Doorman Shiv a lot there. I think that's a pretty nasty combo.
Yeah, I think it's especially if you go for the barrier on your door to give Shiv the extra 5 ability. I mean, you saw in the last series just how effective. Well, not even last series, just over in EU, getting barriers up, whether it's Spirit Barrier, Bullet Barrier, or just barriers in general, can be extremely efficient for you in these lanes where you just hold W at them. I think it's something, when I went like bro, it was actually about Zera on Holiday. So he, on his stream, if you guys haven't watched, he was doing a 100 games on Drifter. So he's gonna do 100 games on every hero, like all one after another. And he did 100 games on Drifter and put out, or I think he's like working on putting out a video about his recap about how he feels Drifter is, and he's got like notes about it. But now he started his Holiday 100 games, I believe today or yesterday, and he's playing Holiday even in the tournament. This man is committed. But if anyone's like ready to go with how Holiday has been played lately and feeling comfortable on it, having played it a lot recently, it's going to be him for sure.
You know what? I love the dedication. It's kind of poor timing because I do feel like on this broadcast, we've kind of displayed how incredibly crazy Holiday can get, and the nerf is coming. The nerf is coming. Well, maybe it's not, because maybe it's something that's only really mostly abusable for the highest skill ranks. So I don't know. It's hard to say because Valve in Counter-Strike often considered the overall population more than they did the pro play as much. So we'll see how they look at it.
That's a good point. I think, you know, while we're in the early game here, we have someone to talk about it and go a little podcast here. I do wonder what is their idea of balance, or what's their like goal to balance? Is it for the general populace, or is it for the competitive play? And I think it's kind of potentially hard to differentiate between the two in a MOBA, because like something that might, like for instance, Sinclair, probably not broken in lower ranks. The higher you go, the probably more broken it becomes because of the skill cap or the skill floor that's on that hero to make it viable. So I do kind of wonder what's their, I can't think of the word I'm looking for here. Maybe you can help me out, Dan. Ideology, I guess would be like the best term I would want to use for it, of balance in the game.
The philosophy. Yeah.
Philosophy. Yep.
Yeah, yes, it is interesting, and we're in such an early time. We're not even in beta yet, so there might just be a lot of stuff where, you know, now the way that they look at it is going to change for when they get to beta and the game is a bit more complete. Because there might also be some gameplay elements that have yet to be added. Nice catch coming on through. Oh, look at that uppercut, but being saved a bit by Viscous. Always nice. Always nice. Viscous build, actually, we have to look. Hoot is honestly so prolific. If you guys don't watch the EU portion of the show, you really have to, just for Hoot, if nothing else. He's playing with the Abrahams, whereby, you know, we saw Hoot get trophy collector on Viscous and like mega carry the game with a split shot as well. Like it was like a build that, like, I felt like if I saw my teammate Viscous in matchmaking pick up trophy collector and split shot, I'm thinking he's trolling the game. But then you see Hoot doing it and is top damaging. So.
There's a bit of a difference between his skill level with Trophy Collector versus the level of people you're playing with for Trophy Collector, I would say. I think that's true for like 99.9% of the population. There's a little bit of a difference in how well you can make it work. But I think that one thing about Trophy Collector, well, two things about Trophy Collector that I kind of love is the fact that it gives you move speed. So for someone like Hoot, it makes it very viable for you to go for fights in the early game or mid game because of that, as they do get a nice catch onto Lona with the chain gang and turn that into a kill here with Bunny with Clock. But also the increased area of effect of your AoE spells. Like I think that's also a very important factor on very specific heroes. Like your spotter on a Viscous, for instance, makes it bigger. Puddle Punch, I believe it makes it bigger as well. So it can be very effective on certain heroes and more importantly about like certain play styles. I think in particular ABL would actually benefit very highly from Trophy Collector if it doesn't have to be necessarily like a super strong mid-game carry. But then again, I think it's very like hero dependent too, because you want to throw that onto a Yamato.
Yeah, and I love the points that you brought up there. I think that's there's a lot to be said there with regards to how awesome of an item it is, because it could just be a troll item. But with that said, you know, we're almost at the 6-minute mark here, and let's take stock. We're roughly even in the souls at the moment. And in terms of Guardians, it's just one Guardian that has been taken down so far, I think, unless the hero icons are covering that on the map at the moment, which is on the left lane, which is the Youngs having lost that Guardian against that Billy and Furnace lane. So not all too surprising against Billy and Furnace. But that should give a slight edge here with Bunny with Clock to get a bit more active on the map with that Guardian taken down.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we would actually see maybe Aiden paired with Lona in a lane, but not mid lane. But I think pairing him with Gibbs on the Viscous just kind of helps him have the extra survivability he needs to have a strong start, because he's going to be max assassinate first. That's 100% what he's going to be doing. And then he's going to start transitioning, looking for some kills to death. He just ground strikes from the sky rise right there, coming down into lane. But you're going to be looking for Aiden to go for these kills. And actually, was that just the tick? The serrated blades coming through, taking Deathy down.
Yeah, serrated blades really hurt a lot. They really hurt.
Especially connections on those. Multiple connections.
And it's definitely a problem, because we talked about how, you know, if Arctic has a smooth ride in the early game on the Shiv, I mean, the Shiv is super high priority because of how snowbally he can be and how he can just take over a game. And so this is absolutely a problem. And in terms of what you would want to counter that on the other end of things, you know, you'd probably want Aiden to be having a good game. He's doing kind of well on the souls, but this is a tough lane. Assistance has come here in the form of multiple players. And Gio's going to get interrupted. The Viscous ult is going to cancel the Hyper Beam. And the Guardian will go down there in favor of the Unks. So getting some progress back there after losing their initial Guardian. Staying active on the map here, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, well done by Gibbs too. I really like that play, diving in, stopping the Hyper Beam, and then turning around and re-assisting your team, just kind of pull that disruption off that makes Viscous so annoying and so effective. I think something that does kind of worry me though is if you look at, you know, the souls across the team for the Unks, like Zera a little bit behind, Deathy a little bit behind, but Aiden off to a strong start at 7k, leading his team as a lasso. My lord, connecting on Arctic, kind of pull him under the Guardian. They should have the damage to finish him off here, especially with the bleed that he's going to be taking. Not to mention Deathy's going to be on the high ground waiting for it, but Arctic takes Deathy down. I didn't realize Deathy was so low, and he turns this one around.
So probably he's going into the closet. Slice and dice will get taken out here, and that's huge. Obviously, got to chase down that kill. However, I feel like it does waste some time for Aiden. He was having to chase that kill for quite some time. Aiden is very important to keep his farm up at this point in the game. So we have more play around these Sinners. Bunny with Clock getting fairly aggressive there, trying to really punish the Youngs, keep the pressure on. And in the meantime, I like it. Again, we're getting response, though, from the Youngs. You know, they lose a bit of ground. They lose a bit to the Bunny Clock pressure. They take something back at the same time. So we get that pressure on the right side lane. And, 9.5k here for Aiden. So he is ahead of everybody else on the server by a decent margin, actually. And I would have actually expected Arctic to maybe be a little bit better off in terms of his lead, soul lead. So this is good news for the Youngs, who otherwise I felt like were maybe coming off of a worse start.
I think, to be fair, I think Aiden did get 1 kill at least. This max level assassinate, which he already has. Oh my god, the puddle punch into a combo, into a clean kill on Poshy Pop. Very strong start for the Youngs. And again, I mean, it's mostly just a stream team with a couple of like pros or ex-pros mixed in here, like Deathy, Gibbs in particular. But I guess they've been sticking around and playing a little bit together as a team, or at least it seems so with how well they've been playing off here with a 4k lead. But Aiden with max level assassinate, he's starting to try to get involved in some of these fights. You can see him kind of lurking on the left-hand side, expecting maybe a rotation to come through to stop that Guardian being taken. But as we did talk about the Youngs losing the first Guardian in the game, well, they do get all 3 down, get that first flex slot unlocked. And now there's no Guardians left in this matchup between these two teams.
And I think this is such a great recovery from the Youngs too, because I would say that they kind of lost the early laning phase in terms of lane by lane, but they make up for it with the macro response afterwards. And here comes Aiden, getting that burst damage here from the Assassinate as his team chase down these kills. Oh, huge ult from the Lash. Deathy sending it. And this could turn into quite a few kills. A lot of low players here. Assassinate kill. 5 kill streak for Aiden as he absolutely farms right now. 11k. Oh, another one. 12k coming in for Aiden. This is the perfect start for him.
7 seconds. Oh, I thought maybe they leave Cool Cheese up for him to get another kill, but he just picked up, what was that, 1,600 unsecured souls? He's got to be so careful with his back that he's got, but at 12,000 souls now. Ridiculous stuff coming through from him, and you're seeing like the confidence, the ability for him to hit these shots. And if I'm not mistaken, he was a controller player before Deadlock, and to switch over to mouse and have this kind of level of accuracy, I don't think we've seen a Vindicta better than him so far in terms of playing a DPS kind of role for the team, not a support.
All right, so we get to look at the items there. By the way, if you're just joining us for the NA portion of the show, there is a mod that we added that allows you to have a little look, see what the builds are looking like. And there it is. Division picking up the soul, the urn turn in, getting all those souls. Not much of a response from the Youngs just yet. They are trying to fish for a team fight around the urn, but because they arrive late, they are fairly tentative. And now having to fan back out on the map here. So definitely a big win, I think, for Bunny McClock. And we can expect more of that. Jason, obviously, the objective advantage Doorman gives you is certainly huge.
Look at this Deathy trophy collector. He sees it. He believes Hoot is making changes in the meta just by himself with the pickups. I mean, Bunny McClock, they are, I mean, the urn turn in, very good timing for them because then there's like no real contest for it. They get the easy 3k souls across the team. And to be fair, like they have a decent spread so far of the souls. I mean, Poshy Pop is going to be leading the team at 13k. And I don't know, I think I would kind of favor a 13k Infernus over a 13k Vindicta. But if your teammates don't have the same level or near level of farm as you, as another Death Slam going to be connecting here, not onto 3 players. I mean, a combo being thrown on top as Aiden goes for the connection on the Assassinate, but I believe he did not get the kill from it. But now he's up to 14,000 souls, and he's going to start to become a pretty big problem here, especially if Bunny with Clock can't get into the backlines to get to him, because Deathy's creating this forward pressure with him and Lona, not allowing anyone to get on top of Aiden to go for a kill.
Yeah, they have pretty nice combos to get picks and a lot of burst damage. And I do agree with you on the Infernus versus the Vindicta point, but I think just the way that the Youngs are playing it right now in the mid game, when players are a lot more squishy, you have, a more of a power spike around the burst damage off of the Vindicta that you can exploit for those quick kills. This is where we can snowball the game the most, and where I think we do need to see Aiden get a bit further ahead. And speaking of which, we do have pressure on the right side of the map here, Aiden on the Vindicta pairing up with the Viscous and the Lash, but they're going to have to fall off. They do get fended back by the Doorman and Shiv of Bunny with Clock. And instead, we get the defense now of the left side Walker. Here is that pressure. Response here from Zera on the Holiday, seeing what he can find. And now there's a lot of players coming in to join this fight, Jason.
Oh, he's low. Poshipop trying to run. He's got about 1 HP left. And Deathy is going to be looking for him. He spots him out, but can't quite connect the shot, especially with Mystic shot up. It's hooked back in here by Geo. Wonder in the meantime has taken out Poshipop with the backline dive. The right lane Walker's being pushed while all this is happening, leaving Gibbs alone to defend. He's already very low in HP and should be finished off here in a second. So Unk's honestly needing these kills to kind of make it worth it. And they're still going to lose in the end unless they can take the Walker themselves.
And Lash is definitely one of the better heroes to have Trophy Collector on because you can really farm the assists to charge it up quickly. So I'd be curious to do a check-in with Deathy at some point to see where he's at on the Trophy Collector. And we'll get some response coming through here for the defense here. Bunny with Clock. I don't know that they can stop this, though. It's just going to be the Paradox and the Infernus. They'll have some damage, but this Walker is going to get committed onto. Surely they'll have enough to finish this one off. It's getting so low. And now we'll have players coming on through here for that pressure. Jumping up to try to catch these players that were looking to defend the Walker. Nice isolation there on Poshipop for the kill. That is a beautiful find there from the Unks as they continue to pressure this Walker. It's staying up at the moment. Big bag dropped.
Yeah, Zera secured it, making sure to take that for his team. You can see how low Geo's going to be. And finally, the right lane Walker does go down because they sent Arctic back to help defend this left lane Walker. And he's on the chase. He's going to get the bag that Zera just picked up from Aiden. This ball is being passed around to everyone in this lobby at the moment. But it's going to be Arctic coming out ahead with this one. 3,000 souls to spend. And there is one worrying sign for me right now. As I look at where the souls are going, and it's great Aiden has the 15,000 souls. But he's not going to be, I would say, as big of a late game carry as Wonder would be on the Ivy. So he's giving them like the tempo they need now, but they need to really focus the farm over to Wonder to be the late game carry for the team, unless they don't plan to go that long. Whereas Poshipop is you know, he's going to be a mid and late game carry with this Infernus. Not to mention Arctic, who's keeping up really well at 17,000 souls, not really falling off from the early game and just continuing to build up steam.
Yeah, I think it's a great call out, and definitely more to say on the Zera Ivy points. I think we can talk about OCs in a moment, but we will get a urn fight coming through here pretty soon. Looks like Bunny with Clock respecting the urn as it's being carried across the map by the Unks, and both teams looking to set up a fight for this one. And given that Division is not the one who has it on the Doorman, this might actually be a straight up team fight. And every ult is pretty much online here except the Death Slam. You'd really want that one. Chain Gang comes on through, and on the rooftops we'll see Arctic fending off, just warding away the Unks, and they're gonna have to go back for this. They just don't want this team fight, Jason. This is kind of a problem. A lot of wasted time in this effort.
So I don't think Unks were looking for a fight then, because Deathy didn't have Death Slam up. I think they were just kind of waiting things out, maybe allowing Gibbs to push a little bit on the right hand side to meet up against Poshi. I don't think they were looking for an engagement. I think it was more of Deathy got caught out, and then they would have been able to engage when you have that big ultimate online to force a fight, considering how grouped they're going to be, leading into a stake, leading into some assassinates. But a good little cleanup kill for Bunny with a Clock. It buys them some time as the Herd is going to be heading back in this direction once again. But you can see how many players out of Bunny with a Clock are going to be here on this left-hand side. The killing blow not going to finish off Lona, but it's not going to matter. Arctic will get the kill either way at the end. And Deathy comes in just a little bit too late here with the good Death Slam. But the backup's not going to be there.
Yeah, they just can't quite find the timing there. That pick onto Mo is just certainly a huge problem, and now gives favor to Bunny with Clock for the push as they start to pressure this Walker, and they'll likely get this down at the moment. However, the Unks are beginning to surround them, so could be a team fight to be had here potentially as they look to stop the Walker from getting taken down. Nice card collection onto the Holiday, sending her away, and this Walker looks to be defended, so that's great work. But in the meantime, I've got to say, Poshipop is just farming freely on the Infernus whilst all this is going on.
Exactly, that's the big point. If they can allow him to keep farming and not get into a fight where they lose players, then it's going to be a massive win for them. But they lose 3 in this little skirmish, maybe losing Arctic towards the back as well, who's just by himself up against the entire team, going to be closing in on top of him. There's nothing that Bunny with Clock can do. I mean, luckily for them, they dropped the urn, so it did reset towards the other side. Actually, sorry, I think it respawned on the right-hand side of the map once it was dropped by Aiden. But mid-boss, it's viable. It's definitely good potential. And they also have Boundless now on Aiden here to really pump up the damage. And I mean, Poshi's going to come in. He's at 24,000 souls. I think there's a real chance we could see a contest here.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Really interesting shot calling here. I kind of love it. But in comes the contest coming in from with Clock. We get a Mo combo there to lock one of those players out of the pit. And we'll get most of the rejues collected here by the Youngs. Great work. In fact, all three collected by them. 2 utilized almost immediately. And more to be used as well. 2 players going down instantaneously there. It's Deathy that gets rejuvenated. As Bunny with Clock take command in these team fights right now. Everyone spread around. And it is still going to be the Youngs who are coming off the worst here. Because Arctic is just destroying people in this team fight. Unstoppable, still full HP, just running amok around the pit and the stairs. And that is a huge L there for the Youngs. Even though they got every rejuve, they got wiped.
You cannot count out Pop on that. He actually shopped right before he went for that fight. I think he bought Spiritual Overflow, I want to guess, right before he went for that engagement. Kind of a ridiculous item to pick up at that moment, but such a good time in the contest. Again, good focus coming through as well. Aiden, he was out of position on the Vindicta, immediately gets his Rejuve Crystal taken away. Pashi getting hyperlined here, but I don't think the collapse is going to happen. But I think that's also when it comes to the professional, like when you play at such a high level for such a long time and screaming in that same aspect, that when it comes to these big team fights, I feel like Bunny with Clock is going to win out hands down. Because they know how to play around each other well and know where to focus targets, where to take fights. But I mean, Posh Pop at 26,000 souls. He's so strong right now.
Death Slam should be coming in sometime soon. Death has been looking for it, but no, on the rooftop, Bunny with Clock are going to get focused down. Nice find there with that combo kill. And with that, it might be a potential fight that Bunny with Clock can actually roll into their advantage as Deathy comes on through. The Death Slam was utilized. We didn't see what happened to that, but the urn is going to get collected, and they might just get the turn in here. Indeed, nothing to stop this. Really good work there from them as they get that preemptive fight with the combo on the roof, and then they manage to run with it here, Jason. That's a huge fight, because after that mid-boss, it really didn't look very good, I've got to say, for their chances.
You know, one thing I'm wondering about is where is all of our rescue beams, man? EU was all about rescue beams. Especially when it came to like holidays and Mo's and stuff like that. Heroes that can displace you. But I haven't seen any rescue being picked up for Bunny with Clock to pull in Arctic when he gets combo. Because you know the combo is going to be going for him. I mean, I say 9 times out of, maybe not 9 times, but like 6-7 times out of 10. It's going to be him or it's going to be Pashi Pop. And you need that rescue beam to keep them alive. You need Arctic to survive. He's just not tanky enough to deal with the upfront damage that's coming his way with Wander and Aiden. Not to mention Zera. Last words from Zera. I don't want to play with the Youngs anymore.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point, because if you don't have that answer, I mean, one of the things that the Youngs have is pick potential. That's a huge edge that they have in this. And the issue for Poshy Pop is that he is going to be kind of squishy, like you're saying. Like, you know, that is a great way to deal with Poshy Pop. If you can just lock him down, get a couple of snipes on him, get some burst damage going, connect the lasso, you know, you're going to be able to take him down. There's not too much to respond with on that. And if he goes down in a fight, the fight actually suddenly looks pretty horrendous for Bunny with Clock. So with good macro, good positioning, I think the Youngs can do a lot with the heroes that they have. So it's really cool to see. And because, you know, the other thing too that I don't think we mentioned is the way that people play Viscous with the burst damage these days as well. As we see 12 stacks, there you go on Lash. Very nice.
I can hear Jake running back to his chair. His like 6 cents tingling. Trophy collector with 12 stacks. And is what, 360 souls per minute. Getting the extra speed to get around the map, which to be fair, I don't really feel like helps Lash that much, considering you're already very mobile, especially when you take Majestic Leap anyways.
2,000 subs and Jake gets a trophy collector tattoo on his chest.
Oh? Yeah. I mean, I'm
if he already has one,
so
there,
yeah.
Trophy collector tattoo.
You know what? Let's be honest, Dan. I think he put trophy collector somewhere else on his body.
Okay.
Puckett might not be here on the show, but his essence still exists here.
Love it. I love it. Speaking of trophies, we've got the urn that's being carried across once again. These urn fights have been, honestly, where the Youngs have managed to find a lot of advantage despite not having the doorman. They've managed to have urn control most of the time. And they're going to be looking for a push here on the left. Walker finishing it off. Finally, it's looking great here. As the damage comes on through, you know, Wanda's going to be taking that one down. And you know what? I thought that I crashed. And I was just casting anyway, you know, because there's like a caster, you know, sometimes when like your stream cuts out, you just got to like pretend as much as you can.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't
really
hear the
stretch out
pause
that
sound.
last snapshot that you saw of the game. and keep casting until you can't.
I didn't hear a pause sound, so I was like, I definitely with you on that one, that I wasn't sure we were paused until I looked down and saw it. Also, some good timing for the Youngs. They just got the urn turn in, and then we hit 20 minutes and the next urn spawned in. So for them to potentially get back-to-back urns while also getting a walker here, this could be a massive swing in souls. I think was that Lona that has it, but there's no way he's able to turn it in. Like look who's waiting for him.
So something else that I think is kind of interesting is we talked about the burst damage that the Youngs have. So obviously Aiden has some crazy burst damage with the ults, and Gibbs has some really amazing burst damage with Viscous. Zera is Holiday, so the burst damage there can be kind of nasty. And Flog is actually a decent bit of burst damage depending on how the build goes. And I mean, Doorman and Paradox are a little bit behind here on the overall souls. Like these guys, and also like in fairness, these are not tanky heroes. I feel like they're all very susceptible to just getting bursted down here. I'm actually feeling like the Unks are in a winning trajectory right now, based on what we're seeing.
Man, all I'm seeing is everyone just disconnecting or reconnecting, having some laggy problems. I mean, I can kind of see where you're going with that, and I can kind of look towards the Youngs as potentially running away with this game as well. I still just always think about how a Bebop can turn a game entirely around just with one well-placed hook. I don't know actually if Arctic has Killing Blow maxed just yet. That's also something to take note of, because when he hits that is when he gets a nice power spike, because he goes for the level 2 dash. As I learned last time, to get the extra was like 50 something damage on top of this. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt my head.
Doorman has like such cool design. I actually only noticed today that when you shoot with him, it's like a little through like a little keyhole is like appears in like the traces of the bullets. It's like really cool.
I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see what they do with the graphics of like his door, for instance, when they add skins, because it's not gonna be the same looking door.
Oh yeah, an ornate door.
And the cart, oh my god, what could they turn the cart into? Hot dog vendor doorman. Oh my god, he shoots a hot dog cart at you, and the doors he opens, it's like a hot dog bun.
Love it. Well, with that, we're actually getting the script flipped a little bit, because Bunny McClock looking to turn the on, and they actually got denied. Great stuff there, Viscous. So good at the denies with the puddle punches, with the ultimate, the Google coming on through as well. And suddenly Arctic is getting isolated. He's getting bursted down by the Holiday. He has to get out of there as he's peeled off of the fight. That creates a great spot for the Unks to surround the remaining players from Bunny with Clock here. Positionally, they're looking in great stead. They've stolen the urn control. That's beautiful. Again, they are coming in clutch on these urn plays.
13,000 souls in the lead. They have to be so careful. They're about to lose their base guardians to a wave of minions. They're definitely not paying attention to the waves and where they are going, but obviously paying attention to the fact that they had to contest the urn. Sorry, Lona did lose it. But Gibbs, you called it out in the middle of that fight, man. The puddle punch coming through and denying the turn in for Arctic, which was inevitably going to be turned in. And now with this lead, what can the Youngs do? I mean, Wondery's been kind of gifted a little bit of an increase in souls because of these back-to-back urns. Though Zera's still going to be leading the team at 26,000. So like Wonder's still not going to hit that point of being a late game carry or a carry for the team until the late game, I should say. On the other side, Polypop has still just been eating up every single morsel of souls around the map. 31,000. I think this is going to be a true testament to him of if he can carry this game, because the way they're currently setting things up, he's going to have to do it.
I gotta say with this lineup too, I feel like if let's say you see OCs, again, if you watch his replays, obviously the team plays with him in a specific way when he's playing Ivy, but he's able to get like he would be at over like he'd be at like 35k souls probably by now with how he plays. We can talk more about that later, how he does that, but because we have currently Bunny McClock actually grouping up a little bit, looking aggressive on the in the middle side of the map. Towards the Youngs at the moment, looking to contest.
This is interesting. So he actually picked up Rebuttal as well here for Wonder, but we already heard that Rebuttal is actually such a good item, especially when you can see a lot of melee come out of a Billy, and you can just sell it later. You definitely gain the benefit from it. As a Changing's gonna be coming through, and there's gonna be Stoneform available again to keep Wonder alive. He's got his capacitor used as well. You can see Poshy Pop, he's just burning away. He gets killed off here by Wonder, and that's 32,000 souls that your team had just completely out of the fight.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is such a huge vulnerability for Bunny with Clock as they tried to scramble and leave the fight, but they're being chased down here. And this chase down, it might just be a whole team wipe. There we go, picking up every single frag. And with that, the full control of the map is going to be with the Youngs here. They need to push back up that middle lane, push up those creeps, but otherwise, they've got full map control here. They're looking to go for the base guardians, and they can get shrines here as well. This is crazy. They can take so much out of this without even the mid boss or anything. Like, they can just get in there.
I think they could even take phase one patron. I mean, mid boss hasn't spawned in back just yet, but they're actually regrouping. I mean, what are they doing? Why didn't they just push those shrines down? I mean, they're going for mid boss, but it hasn't spawned in yet. I mean, they have the timing on, I'm assuming. We don't have the timing on it right now. I don't know why. I'm wondering, like, when is it coming up?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, if they're going for mid boss, I can understand not taking phase one patron because you would have forced them to respawn quicker, which means you wouldn't have been able to get mid boss. But because of the waiting, I mean, there still is a chance to contest it here. And last time they went for this, they got completely wiped out. Yeah, they got all three rejuve crystals, but they almost had a full team wipe.
That's very true. Well, they have a good lead now as they come back in after the bait for the full fight outside the mid boss in the mid position, and it's looking so good too. Quick kills coming in favor of the Youngs here, taking out both Anna the Billy and the Infernus. The two problem players are gone. There's not much frontline remaining. It's just Arctic now. He's looking to try to tank everything, and the focus fire here again. The burst damage is actually unreal, and look at that, 50% health, one assassinate, no problem. As every single kill I mean, right now, Jason, these fights are not winnable for Bunny with Clock.
That last shot out of Aiden that he hit, that just looked like a rocket to rail combo in Quake. Knocks him up with, juggles him with the rocket straight into a rail that's like almost impossible to miss.
Love it.
And they go back to finish mid boss, man. Like, with Rejuve only losing one player, there's definitely a real world that they can finish this game on these next pushes here. I mean, they do have still 2 walkers to take. They have over a 30k lead in souls as well. There's still so much farm on the map to take. Like, this is the opportunity now for the Youngs to really create a lead that there's no way for Bunny with Clock to come back from.
I feel like ZP, if you're there, I feel like ZP has something really important to say.
Oh, it's what's something ran to that cast chat. Like, I don't love Zera's holiday build right now. It is underrating how she scales up. You went lucky shot over glass cannon. You went long range. I don't know. It's also, the other thing is that you went level 3 lasso over level 3 barrel, when level 3 barrel, it's not just the charges, it's the fact that the knockup is way better for actually getting kills when you have the level 3 barrel, which is why, like, you look at any of the EU builds, you always level 3 barrel before lasso. But what I'm saying here is not the best holiday build. That's all.
I'm gonna clip that and link it to him on a stream tomorrow. No, I mean, 31,000 souls. At least, I mean, they're still winning at the moment. But yeah, if you compare what we saw over in EU, a slight difference when it comes to EU versus NA in the way, at least. Zera's playing the holiday. Oh my god, Aiden again with another quick shot coming through, and another one, 2 quick kills. And look at his unsecured souls. Was that 3? Is that 3.7 thousand?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh my god.
I've never seen it get that high before.
Dude, they're gonna win the game. They don't even have the 2 walkers. They don't even have yet, and they can just win the game right now. When does that ever happen? It's just outrageous.
No, my god.
Is it not outrageous? Does that ever happen?
Not often. I think we see it maybe like once in one of the games we've casted before, but with this kind of lead with Rejuve as well, you don't need the walkers. Just go straight for the finish here, and the Youngs are going to be able to advance on through to play against the melee creeps. But I have a sinking feeling, though, Dan, that we're not going to be seeing Vindicta getting through the bans. But that's so tough to do, because if the Youngs go for a top 3 pick on her once again, you don't want to first ban her, do you? With other heroes out there.
I don't know, Jason, but what I do know is that this was some absolute cinema from the Unks, putting up a show here, dominating through the challenger match. Now on to the money match. What more can they do? Can they win it all here?
Crazy. This is crazy. There's Trophy Collector on Lash, and he won again. That's the
Trophy
answer
Collector
to Lash
is
showing
back,
2 wins.
baby. It's in. It's in.
I like how you say it's back, but it had to have been there at one point to come back. You know, it was never there. It's finally coming into the meta, and it works out for Deathy here on the Lash. But again, I think if you guys didn't catch the NA Trolley event that we had, the Open, you got to see at least in this match what makes Aiden so good on Vindicta. Like ridiculous. I know you weren't there for the event, Jake, but watching that match, like crisp, clean, pulling off ridiculous kills and the high burst potential as well. I mean, he had 3.7 thousand unsecured souls because of that many kills plus jungle farming. He was unstoppable.
Yeah, it's crazy when the bag gets that big. It's like bigger than Vindicta herself. But Aiden never dropped it, man. Just in full control with that Vindicta. And now you're starting to ask questions like, okay, are you going to ban all these comfort heroes? Is it the Wander Yamato you're going to take out? Is it the Aiden Vindicta? Is it the Holiday, which looks super top tier right now as we take a look at some of the highlights from this match? And I think, you know, Melee Creeps, they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they certainly did. It was, and they certainly will if they let Vindicta through. But otherwise, I don't know how specific this is. I think, you know, Gibbs being able to play Viscous, obviously we can see just like how good Gibbs was. I feel like Gibbs could maybe slip through the cracks in terms of how good his performance was in this game, because obviously Gibbs was doing a great job, as any Viscous would, with support, but also was doing a really good job with the burst damage and ensuring that he had this good disruption with the goo ball, like, which came in really clutch in a lot of the urn fights, you know, forcing them to drop the urn and just creating disruptions. So I wanted to give a shout out to Gibbs there, because I felt like the Viscous performance could be easily overlooked, but was super impactful.
Definitely a Viscous man, but yeah, Aiden putting in work this game with the maxed out snipe.
Yeah, and again, like, we don't really ever see a max assassinate Vindicta. Like, honestly, I think he's probably the only one we've ever really seen it in pro play, and you're seeing like kind of why his team allows him to play it, because some of the shots he's hitting, they're not easy shots, like, whatsoever. And you're really dependent, I feel like, if you play this way on Vindicta and you level your assassinate first, that you have to pick up kills in that mid game. You have to farm up those souls, because you also need to keep in mind the eco around the map and how you need to feed to other heroes well at the same time. It's very dependent on being able to get those kills.
Yeah, it was a really great to see. And but the thing is, the problem with Aiden right now is, given the priority of Vindicta that exists already, it's just not going to slip through. I don't think you allow him to play it. I hope Melee Crews do it as a challenge, but I don't think it's ever going to be let through.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's genuinely a lot of problems now to think about. What's your prio? Is it Yamato? I mean, you could go with these heavy target bans, but then are you giving them Kelvin? Are you giving them Holiday, looking like, you know, some top meta heroes right now? And I feel like you could run the risk of being maybe overly focused on taking away some of the Unk's comfort picks, and in doing so, just give them a lot of some of the top quality heroes in the meta right now. I think Melee Creeps gonna have to, I think, be watchful of trying to be too focused on just like the counter ban and counter picking, and kind of just take this match pretty seriously, given the level the Unks are showing right now.
It's so funny to see that there's very few players in the game that draw off meta bans. And I think we're seeing Aiden should be one of them here. I think Wonder's been a bit as well for teams who want to kind of keep him on the back foot. We don't really see many players have specific bans that are just kind of against the normal, like Kelvin, Victor that we've seen, or Inferno or something like that. It's just crazy to see that you can have players be so good at a specific hero that you kind of have to take it away, and then that forces, I think, completely changes your game plan going into a draft. If you have to take that into account, then you have to realize, like, what are we going to leave open, what do we need to take, and it really makes things difficult. But going into this next series, though, Dan, I'm thinking, if you're the Unks, I feel like you almost want first pick, and then you don't ban Kelvin, because you have the ability then to pick up Kelvin if they're going to take away your Yamato or your Vindicta, or you just get one of them because they have to ban the Kelvin. I think there's a lot of potential here for the Unks now in the next series.
Makes sense. I know we've got the next segment coming up, but yeah, we can talk about that again, because I think Yamato is probably the priority over Vindicta.
Yeah, definitely a lot to discuss for that next series. Shout out to Dougade with the 5 gifted, taking us right in to our MVP segment. There's a little bit of controversy about who was the MVP for the Unks from this opening winning match, and it was Aiden the Destroyer.
Wait, I was like, did I just lag out? But that got me. I see what you did there.
I see what happened. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be deserving of it for sure. He played too well in Vindicta. He was effective. Like the shot he hits on the Paradox here on the Cool Cheese, that's not an easy shot to hit.
This is like 2009 again. Bro's got the intervention. We're on Rust. He's just taking over.
Oh, you're talking about Scout. You're talking about the sniper.
Talking about
TF2. I was
Modern Warfare 2, brother.
Oh, that's it.
Talking
That's
about
even worse.
an OG, a deep cut. True gamers know.
That's true. I did play Modern Warfare 2. I was just kind of garbage at it, to be honest. And there was a lot of hackers back then. And I guess it's still hard for that one. But yeah, I mean, like the flicks he was hitting, he's also being set up really well from his team. I think his team did a really good job of keeping that forward pressure on. Because when did we ever see Aiden pressured other than in the mid pit when he got taken down right away when they got the 3 crystals? Like they were always pushing and chasing. They were never having to retreat, and he always had so much space to play from.
Yeah, they did it. So they did a really good job. Because, you know, if you look at the context, well, they kind of like lost the laning phase to a certain extent. But as soon as things were getting a little bit dicey towards the 8-minute mark, they managed to get their first Guardian, and then they started just tempering everything else. They started moving as a team, taking all of the other Guardians out. They didn't allow that Guardian edge to settle, and then they took over the game with that pick bursty type of style that they had. And in doing so, they protected Aiden by doing that and created the space for him in the fights. So. Really nice, because it could have been that Aiden could have got way more shut down.
Yeah, it's kind of some shades of what we saw out of some of the drafts in our EU finals match, right? With people really playing these high tempo styles, putting the opponents on the back foot and just trying to keep them there all game long. Still, they face a much tougher test in the Melee Creeps coming up next in our NA finals match. Melee Creeps have to be considered the hands down favorites here, coming off a spree of wins here in North America. The Unks punching up, but can they battle out of their weight class? Can they show that the old men still got it like that? Got to see in this NA finals match. Obviously, you got to call, Melee Creeps the favorites, but hey, this is a convincing win for the Unks. I feel like maybe some doubters got to be a little bit shook after that performance. Yeah,
I think we did see some small problems in their macro, though, when it came to how they play things out. When they were trying to go for an earn turn on the left-hand side, then Deathy gets caught out. But then we saw a counter push come in on the right lane Walker that they didn't really have a response for. They also let their Shrine get their base guardians get extremely low because they weren't necessarily monitoring the waves. I think when it comes to macro, they're going to be unmatched when it comes to Melee Creeps. But in the early game, I feel like they should be able to match up.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting one as we're hopefully able to get into that soon. Of course, we do want to give a shout out to this show's sponsor, you. It's the viewers. It's our patrons. It's like the good people. Well, you help too. You know what? We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody here. But of course, it's the viewers, it's the fans, it's our patrons in particular who really support this show, allow us to continue running it week after week. We are going without a sponsor for the moment, although, hopefully we can get things cooking on that front as well. But in the meantime, it makes a huge difference getting all these, whether it's the subs on Twitch, even just people tuning in week after week and being there to support us consistently, posting on social to put the word out about the show. It's all appreciated. It all makes a difference, and it allows us to continue to run week after week and continue bringing this Deadlock esports action. But enough of my sellout. We got to get into, of course, this money match. This is what everyone is waiting for. The question is, should we go to a break or should we rip it?
Yeah. No, hell yeah, let's go to break.
Let's go to break then, Solomon. You heard the man. Boss man Jason says go to break. That means we go to break. We'll see you in a few minutes.